everybody, Lisa here with another Vera Bradley bag of the day. Today, I'm coming to you from behind my bags. I feel a little like I'm hiding behind my bags, but I wanted this camera set up so I could get the patterns really close to the camera. So I've come downstairs to the living room area. um, and I wanted to talk about my bag of the day, which is the Tie Tote, which I just talked about in a recent video. So I probably don't have to go over it quite as much, but it is just the next one in a string of tie totes that I've now ordered for myself because I just love this style. I went a little crazy. But when this one came, I became sort of something happened. I thought why does this pattern look so familiar? I couldn't quite put my finger on it. This pattern is Chelsea green. And then I realized, and maybe I'm the last one to realize this, but in case there were a few other, holdouts like me who didn't realize, this is the same pattern as Piccadilly Plum, and that's why it looked familiar to me, because I had this Carson Shoulder Bag from the recent re-release of this pattern. I actually wasn't going to, I was on the fence about whether I would keep this or not for a long time. Kept the tag and the plastic bag and everything. I mean the receipt, the packing receipt. And didn't cut the tag off for a while. But I decided to keep it because it was a re-release, sort of spoke a little bit to the history of the company, so I decided it was nice for that reason, and good in the fall especially, although I don't restrict myself to seasons. I do think this would look very good in the fall with any kind of olive green jacket or pants, and I wear a lot of camo, so it'll work well with that. But so I pulled when I got this, and I thought this looks a lot like Piccadilly Plum. I finally pulled it out last night, and I compared for real, and it's the same pattern for anyone who hasn't realized. And so I thought I would just show them up close, and also talk a little bit about the colors in this rather than the bag itself. I'll put the link to the other tie tote videos in the video description below, so I don't have to repeat myself too much, and if anyone's interested in the details of this bag, they can go to those videos. I do think that this pattern, which is, I did write this down, fall 2005, and this is also fall 2005. And also I should mention that in fall 2006, the pattern Windsor Navy came out, and I have a feeling, I don't have anything in that pattern, but from looking at the swatch on the pattern archive on the Vera Bradley website, it does look the same. So my guess is it's also the same pattern in a different color scheme. But even though, my feeling about this pattern is that it's probably the most traditional and old-fashioned looking of any of the vintage Vera Bradley patterns that I have. But I still wanted to keep it, same thing with this, because it's just something in particular about the color scheme here that I think is so nice. And, green, like orange, I feel like is a little bit harder to work with sometimes as challenging colors. And it's done really well here, and they're not used as frequently, probably because of that. And it's done really nicely here. Also making use of some color theory, and that's probably why it looks so good to me. But I do think that also the plaid elements make it look a little dated. To me, the plaid, and that's why I felt like I might return this one. The plaid really takes me back to like the 80s, the early 80s, preppy collegiate kind of look. But anyway, so the pattern here, I think the color scheme is so nice here because it's making use of, I've talked about this in my Lavender Meadow video, if you know anything about the color wheel. it's making use of complementary colors, but not just, but in a complex way. So green and red are complementary colors, meaning that they fall opposite each other on the color wheel. And I did pull up a color wheel. I found some good color wheels online. This one in particular, well, this one is nice because it gives you, like I mentioned in my other video, oops. Normally you'd see a color wheel that has maybe 6 to 12 colors. That's your standard color wheel. This one has more. I think this one has 18. And so it really does show you the range of hues, you know, in between the basic primary colors. So here you can see on the top here, you've got the red family, the warm family colors, so especially the reds. And directly opposite are the greens. So those are complementary colors. And complementary colors tend to flatter each other. They make each other more vivid when they're used in combination. So they're very pleasing. And here also you can really see this is a nice color wheel, even though it's only 12 colors, because it gives you the different values in each color. From a darker, the outer rings of this color wheel, you know, the colors are mixed with black, so they have a sort of a grayer, more subdued look. And then they get a little bit more vivid, and then towards the center they're mixed with white. They become a little bit more pastel looking and opaque looking. And why this is interesting when you're looking at what's going on in this bag is that you see complementary colors being used, but there are different values and different shades going on. So I think that's why this particular pattern color scheme looks so nice. You know, you're getting this range of greens, quite a variety of greens, but you're also getting a variety of reds and pinks, even into like a lavender color there, and this darker purple. So it really is a nice mix there. And just for anyone who might be skeptical and doubting me, that these are the same. So you have this sort of burst, you know, these sort of petal-like sprays, and then this paisley in the middle with the flower in the paisley there. And you get the same thing here, only here it's upside down, here it's coming out right side up. It's the same thing, and you can see even in the center of the paisley there, it's the same flower configuration in the center of this paisley here. So I just thought that was neat. And then here you've got this sort of big purple swirl with these heart shapes in it. That's this. So this pattern, this color scheme also is making use of, you know, that color relationships of complementary colors, but it's a little more restrained. Here, I feel like you've got more of the analogous color scheme going on. And analogous colors are colors that fall next to each other in an arc on the color wheel. So here you're getting like the reds, orange into yellow. And then you're getting that little touch of the complementary color green with the olive green here. But this has more of an overall analogous color scheme to me, whereas this really is making use of complementary colors throughout. I just think it's yes, it's a traditional looking paisley pattern, and that plaid is not helping. But I do like I said, for the history of it, and I do love these greens. The greens are great, and they're coming out nicely here in the light here. They're accurate. This is accurate too. And on this, you know, I've shortened the strap using a green ribbon. I can put a link to that video. That was a while back where I talked about the Carson Shoulder Bag and how I wasn't crazy about any of the strap lengths with it. And so I did sort of jerry-rig this solution with a bow to get it to the shortness that I wanted. But anyway, I still do think, let's see if I can get these on, compare the size. Stand back a little bit and compare the size for everybody. So you can sort of see they sit up about the same now that I've shortened the strap on this Carson shoulder bag. But, they're sort of bags that sit up high, on your body, which is what I like. It's a shorter strap drop. I think the strap drop maybe is about 10 inches. Let me see. But again, I do have that in the other video, that info. Yeah, it's about 10 and a half, the strap drop. And this I just have stuffed with a sweatshirt. There's not much to show going on in there. But this I can show that you can get a lot in here. I mean, I have a lot of stuff in here today. It just came back in. So not only do I have some mail I picked up, a GPS pouch, charger cord pouch, charger cord, random junk, random papers, iPod, phone, which fit in these 2 slip pockets beautifully, as I said in the other video. Sorry for the dog noises. They're chewing on bones. But I did go with a bigger wallet. I could even get a bigger wallet in here, and I chose this, which is all-in-one crossbody, and I do use it as a wallet, as I'm always saying. This is Bordeaux Bloom. So again, another sort of maybe more wintry, more fall-like pattern, but I chose it because I felt like it picked up those dark red, sort of burgundy touches. Of course, nobody's going to be seeing that and knowing that except me. But, it makes me happy. But the point is, this is kind of big and chunky, and it fit in there as well with everything else. So that was nice. And just to highlight again, it's got this nice quilted zipper pocket inside as well. And the use of the wider band of trim on this style bag is just great. And here, not only do you have the wide band of trim, but you got the plaid elements too. And the trim you can see is on the inside, the top on the inside too, which is really nice finishing. I mean, that's real nice attention to detail. Maybe you don't get as much anymore because it's expensive. I mean, I know people are always complaining, but what are you going to do? Everything is expensive, and this is what they have to do to stay in business, right? Is to sort of streamline what they're doing and try to cut costs. But that was nice that they do that with the band of trim up top as well on the inside. And you can see the lining again. It's plaid. It's a nice plaid. I think I prefer this color scheme, to this plaid, which I'm not as crazy about. But what was nice about this re-release in this Carson was that they did a cotton lining, and it is the plaid. So I appreciate that, element that they did that. Even though I'm not crazy about this plaid, this particular plaid, I do appreciate that they did that for this re-release. Even though, again, if you've seen my other videos, not really my favorite bag, but worth it because it was, a special edition, kind of. But anyway, just a quick one today because I do have to get back to work. Oh, I have so much work right now, which I shouldn't complain about because I'm spending a lot of money on Vera and I need to pay for it. So anyway, just a quick one where I thought, I would point out if people hadn't noticed that these are the same pattern, just different colors. So Chelsea green and Piccadilly plum and Windsor navy. If people have Windsor navy, they should pull that out and compare it. I'm pretty sure it's the same. Some Vera expert can back me up in a comment or something. Someone who's more expert than me. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and hope to see you next time on Vera Bradley Bag of the Day.